hoping for one more member, but good evening, everybody. Welcome to the regularly scheduled City of Waterville Planning Board meeting. Going to start the evening with the approval of minutes of the January 13th Planning Board meeting.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
This is the minutes.
Minutes from the last meeting. Yeah. Tom's abstaining.
Abstaining.
Yeah. Second item, disclosure of conflict of interest. Does anybody have anything they need to disclose on the items that are on the agenda?
The matter regarding the former Ware Butler property that's on the agenda this evening. I know Mr. Godbout through his efforts with the new Mainers, and I am strongly behind everything that he's doing. I believe in everything that he is doing and how much it would benefit the city of Waterville. I went to a brief meeting, if you will, several months ago regarding bringing this matter forward. And we haven't met since, and I have no intentions of meeting again. That being said, I honestly believe that I can proceed without any bias, without any prejudice, without any favor for the proponent here. If anyone has any questions about what I've just said regarding any appearance of impropriety, I'll be willing to answer anything.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Any questions? All right, I will also disclose that I was, I believe, at that same meeting over the summer where there was the tour of the
Yes.
the old Sacred Heart Church. There were a number of people there, including some city councilors and other people on the planning board. I didn't have any personal conversations with anybody on the development team, so I would say the same thing, unless anybody has any concerns.
Well, I may as well chime in. I was not yet a member of the planning board. I was not quite sworn in, is that what it's called? But I did go to that meeting and didn't talk to anyone myself either. But, I don't know if that counts since I wasn't yet a member, but there it is.
Yeah. Okay, well, we can proceed. Item number 3, SDG Investors LLC is requesting preliminary and final plan review for a 20-unit multifamily development to be constructed on Drummond Avenue.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Allen from A.E. Hudson Engineers. And on the screen, I've got the layout of what the project is going to look like. Along this side here is Drummond Avenue. And this is up almost to the Fairfield line, so it's quite a ways out in town. Across the street, right over here, it isn't shown too dark here, is Wolf Street. And again, down here is Montcalm Street. So just that's sort of to orient how where the project is. The project is, as you mentioned, 20 units. That will be in 5 different apartment buildings that are along a road. There's city water that's available from Drummond Avenue, and city sewer will be pumped up to a manhole on the end of Montcalm. There's already an existing force main that's going into that terminal manhole coming down from a few homes here on Wolf Street. So that's where we tie into the sewer is down here. As far as parking goes, we've got about 2 parking spaces per unit that are 4 units, 8 spaces in front of each unit, or 5 units, I'm sorry, with 5 buildings, 4 units in each building, so there are therefore 8 spaces in front of each building. We've got a turnaround down here for the fire department and a dumpster for the units. And then this shows the water and sewer and electrical lines will be underground here. I think that pretty much describes the project. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay.
In your application, I did include a picture of a 4-unit apartment that's probably something like this might look like. They're going to be 2-story units with bedrooms upstairs probably and individual entrances downstairs. So this is not the unit we're building, but this is the same sort of type of structure we'd have there.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jeff. Any questions from anyone on the board? Did you mention how many?
Yes, right.
Oh, Ann, sorry.
The ordinance requires two parking places per unit, plus one for every 6 units, but the state law is about to change, and I'm not quite sure, certain what it is. I think it's 1 unit.
It's
One parking
one,
place per unit. It will be as soon as we adopt the ordinance to comply with the state law.
do you want, I can add more parking spaces, but this seems to be ample parking compared to some of the other projects I've done.
I just.
I think,
wanted
it's
to note that.
one spare parking spot per 6 units.
Yeah.
So that we need 4 more spaces. If that's deemed necessary, we could add that, but I'm trying to minimize the amount of impervious area that we have to keep the project essentially under an acre. Right now, we're at 32,000 square feet, something like that. So we're well under an acre. So there is room that we could add additional spaces if you think necessary. But as Mrs. Beveridge mentioned, the state ordinances are now doing away with required parking spaces.
Right, yeah.
So you can be proactive and just say,
Right.
we're okay, or we could,
And do you know, is that law already gone into effect?
No, because we haven't adopted it yet, and we don't have to adopt it until, I believe it's the end of June. But it's my intention to put it through the process earlier than that.
Sure. And that actually, my first question was, when do you anticipate construction starting? And is this phased? Is this, they're going to stand up all 5 buildings at once?
I think
Do you
he'll
know?
probably be building them 2 or 3 at a time.
2 or 3 at a time.
I don't think he's going to do it all at once. And there's still some other issues about the design of the buildings that have not been finalized yet. We've talked about that this week some, but
But I would say the chances are pretty good that nobody's going to be occupying anything before the end of June.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are coming as prefab units, but of course, there's all
Yeah.
your earthwork, the site work, roads,
Right.
paving. So
Which can't start for a couple of months.
right, so, they won't be issuing COs until later in the summer,
Yeah, yeah,
or more likely in the fall.
yeah. I mean, I personally would say we don't need to include any additional parking spaces, but if anybody on the board feels otherwise.
I might just at least put it in the minutes, so
Yeah.
it's not a condition of approval, but I don't want to ignore it because it is the requirement at this point. So you could make a requirement that all, whatever, a certain number are not occupied before this law goes into effect. Does anybody happen to remember what it says, LD 1820? I didn't bring it with me.
I don't, and Cassie's not here.
Yeah.
She would know.
I think it's 1 per unit, but
That will be the new requirement?
the
One-
new
one
requirement
per
is
unit.
definitely less parking. The
Yeah.
Right.
idea is that you can have more housing and
Yeah.
Right,
Just some
right.
development
Just
if you
a
don't.
question, I guess, about the requirement in general, whether it's 2 per unit now or 1 per unit later. Is that based on square footage per unit, or is it just a blanket per unit, no matter what? Because they're 600 square feet, right, the units?
So it would be, I think that they are going to be 2-bedroom, I believe.
Oh, they are.
So it would be like a small family.
Yeah,
But in a small family, it's reasonable to assume there would be 2 cars.
uh-huh,
Yeah.
But
okay.
there won't likely be more than 2 cars. But somebody might have their friend over for Thanksgiving dinner or a family, that, yeah. So I think that's the reason why the guest parking was originally mandated, that now has been disallowed by state law, or will be in the future disallowed,
Okay.
Or not required.
not required.
Yeah.
It'll be allowed, I guess. If you get,
Right.
Yeah, we could do it, but
Well, and what would be your guidance on how we would proceed with this?
Yeah, I just like following the ordinance as it exists now, but that may be compulsive behavior on my part, I don't know. I mean, if I were doing this all by myself, I might add a condition of approval that,
If-
how many units?
yeah, if more than 6 units are occupied prior to June 30th, an additional parking space will be required for each 6
That
units.
sounds good to me.
Okay. We'll make sure to add that when we get into the findings and facts.
Tom, did you get that language?
No, I didn't.
Okay, you want to try that again, Jeff?
If more than 6 units are occupied prior to June 30, 2026, an additional parking space will be required for each 6 units.
Okay.
So back to the construction timeline. So they would get started as soon as possible,
Right, but
as
there's
soon as
a,
they can.
yeah, but there's water and
Considering-
sewer and,
Yeah.
that's going to take a few months.
Do you anticipate, so it would start within a year,
Yes,
and then they would be completed within 2 years after the start, you believe? We don't
I think
need to-
so.
We don't need to add anything.
if, that's the normal window. If we could ask for another year for full completion, I think that might save having to
Okay.
come back in a couple of years.
All right. All right, does anybody from the public have any comments, questions? Yes, sir, come on up.
My question.
If you don't mind,
To Mr. Alley.
if you don't mind stating your name just for the minutes.
My name is Peter Rennie, and I represent a budding property, the Waterville Elks Lodge. I have a couple of questions. First of all, is this going to be low-income housing? Just want to know.
No.
No.
Okay. Occupancy per unit. How many people per unit?
There are 2-bedroom units. I don't
Okay.
know if there's I don't know how you limit that.
Being a property owner myself and a renter, I believe there's a state statute that says children of a certain age, male, female, have to be separated.
I mean, that's not really under the purview of the planning board in approving,
No, but I'm just putting it out there.
so.
You know, so if some of these units going to be 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or whatever. I just had that question.
Yeah, I think they're going to be all two-bedroom units.
Okay. And as we spoke this morning, we are going to be approximately 1,550 feet from our from our facility to the center of this facility.
Yes.
And once again, by the map that you gave me, is in the near future, is there more property that's going to be added on to this?
There is room for additional development on the property, but at this point, I haven't heard any discussion about doing that, mainly because there's a stream there. And so
Right.
anything that we would do beyond this would require crossing the stream, and it would also require state and potentially federal permitting.
Okay. One other question to you. And if you explained to me if the industrial road was to continue, where would it take off from where it is now? Where would it?
Industrial road kind of dead ends into your property.
That's right.
And so it wouldn't go through your property. There's an existing road that comes off on the right-hand side that would head down toward Drummond Avenue prior to this. I think Mrs. Beveridge has a map that would be,
Yeah.
what's the name of that street off of
Oh,
Industrial?
this Resolution Road.
Resolution,
Yeah.
right.
But that looks like it would come down closer to town than where our property is.
Okay. So if the road went through from Resolutionary Road, would this give these builders the opportunity to build closer to us?
No, there are several properties in between.
Okay. That's what we need.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yes. Chris Stevens, Waterville Elks Lodge. Do you have a map of roughly where that road's supposed to go through? Because we were told that that road when BDS and Gregory's Disposal went in on Fairfield, that road was supposed to be completed from Waterville to Fairfield. That was the rules and regs that was set. We were told that. And I was told by the code enforcement officer that once that went through, that road had to be completed.
Could I say something?
Yeah, please,
No,
please.
The economic development specialists have been talking about extending Industrial Road to Fairfield for at least 20 years.
Oh, yes.
And
But there were stipulations put on that road where it is right now. When, the way I was told, understood was,
You see those hash lines there? Here's your building.
Yep.
Here's his property. And their hash lines headed right. Do you want to see this?
I've seen it.
The hash lines that go right to that residential property. But that doesn't give them a right-of-way across that property. And it doesn't say where it's going to go from.
the older
See
map,
that, Jeff?
the older map that I saw, there was a road that went through and cut over to Fairfield.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything that goes through,
Right,
Oh,
there's no right-of-way across
Yeah.
your property, so I don't know how they could extend it that way. And there's a lot of wetland in there, as you know.
yeah, and there's a stream there, so you can't, that isn't possible to go that realistically.
The cost of it and the environmental issues and whatever,
Well, that's what I'm kind of worried about. If the road isn't going to go through, but then with this project right here, all around, that brook runs all around this whole back part right through here. Comes right down through.
But you can see the streams on this zoning map. You can see the streams here, and that's wetland. This is all wetland in here. So the fact that they've been showing on our map doesn't give anybody a right-of-way to go across this property.
Because
Yeah,
that's what I was looking at from the old map that they showed me, that they had it all jotted out where the road was gonna go through. And they said with the stipulation that when Fairfield got 2 more businesses on their end, that road needed to be completed.
Well, if Fairfield is saying that, the city of Waterville is.
No, this city of Waterville said it to me, told me that,
Do you remember?
the
who
code
said-
enforcement officer. He
It's
told
a
me.
city council decision.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Okay.
I like Dan an awful lot, but I don't think he has it in his budget to build roads.
No,
So,
They said that the money was going to be put aside to build that road.
Not in Waterville.
yeah.
No, I've been here 37 years and I do not.
I would say if you're concerned about that, I would bring it up with
Well, I actually
the,
want the road to go through. I'd like to see the road because it's industrial property. It actually might mean we get a job in this city.
I mean, I would certainly encourage you to go speak with the new city manager about it. He would be probably the best person to speak with,
Okay.
so.
And I can give you the contact information for the gentleman that owns this property as well.
Well, I know, like, I think one gentleman owns property in his Plurd, Jeff.
No, it's Dennis Brockway.
It's a different. Okay. The person that owns this land?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about somebody that owns abutting parcels.
But
I used to have it on my phone, who owned all the land.
yeah, it's online.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I have Onyx Hunt on my phone,
Yep.
so it tells me whose property when I'm deer hunting, whose property I'm on, so I can ask for permission.
So you can volunteer your land. If you want it to be built, it could be built across your land.
I was gonna say by the way the road was gone through, that I figured it was already deemed that this is where it was gonna go, by the old map.
If nobody has an easement across Mr. Brockway's property, I can't imagine it would happen.
The environmental permitting necessary to do that would be very difficult.
Yeah,
So that's gonna basically say the same thing about your parcel right there, to try to get across that brook to go farther in.
Right. It's different crossing a brook once, but that, connecting that road in, there'd be like 3 crossings, and part of it runs parallel to the road, so you'd have an impact. You have to be at least 75 feet from the stream. It doesn't look like that's possible to do.
yeah, we've run into the same issues up on the airport road with some development, and it's just too wet.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, anything is possible, but
Yeah.
is it realistic to think that it will be done in our lifetimes?
Right. Yep. All right, any other comments, questions? If not, we can move on to the findings and facts. So, go on up there, Jeff, and we'll get started. So, number 1, the development will not result in undue water or air pollution on or off-site.
True.
Number 2, sufficient water is available for the reasonable foreseeable needs of the development, including but not limited to potable water and fire control water.
True.
Number 3, the development will not cause unreasonable soil erosion or reduction in the capacity of the land to hold water.
True.
Number 4, the development will not cause unreasonable highway or public road congestion or unsafe conditions with respect to use of the highways or public roads existing or proposed, both on and off-site.
True.
Number 5, the development will provide for adequate solid waste disposal.
True.
Number 6, the development will not cause an unreasonable burden on the ability of the municipality to dispose of sewage.
True.
Number 7, the development will not have an undue adverse effect on the scenic or natural beauty of the area, aesthetics, historic sites, or rare and irreplaceable natural areas, or any public rights for physical or visual access to the shoreline.
True.
Number 8, the development is in conformance with zoning.
True.
Number 9, the developer has adequate financial and technical capacity to meet the above stated standards.
True.
And you see all the conditions. There are conditions from the fire department, from Kennebec Water District,
City engineer.
from city engineer, the Waterville sewage. There's no issues with any of those conditions?
No.
Okay. And need to make a motion to add this additional condition.
I would make a motion to add the additional condition if more than 6 units are occupied prior to June 30, 2026. An additional parking space will be required for each 6 units.
I'll second that motion.
He was asking for an extension to.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, we can do them both at the same time, I guess. You want to continue, Tom,
What is the extension?
for an additional year to complete
Okay.
the construction?
And I would add an additional year to complete the construction.
I will second that. Any discussion? All those in favor? And then can I get a motion to approve with the conditions stated and amended?
So moved.
Second.
And
Sorry, who moved?
Tom?
Tom now.
And Tom seconded. All those in favor? Great. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Jeff. Item number,
You all could sign the plans before you leave. That would be-
yeah, we'll get those signed.
Thank you.
Yep. Item number 4, Nova Nord LLC is requesting revisions to Ordinance 109-2022, the contract zone the city created for the Ware Butler property, former Sacred Heart Church property at 70 Pleasant Street.
Hi, everyone. And want to apologize for 2 things. One, sorry for not being here 2 weeks ago. I had a family matter and I was unable to attend. So thank you for presenting in my absence. 2, I want to apologize if I put you in any sort of conflict of interest situation. That was not my intention. I know this project means a lot to a lot of people in the community, and I'm just trying to get as much feedback as we make plans going forward. Tonight, I'm simply asking to continue the zoning that Ware Butler had on the property, so I can continue running the office building and the rectory building on site as office spaces where we're renting to current tenants.
Great.
Yep.
Thank you very much. And I'll say, don't worry about the first thing or the second, either of the things. We've just received guidance on things like that we should publicly disclose, those types of interactions. So, I'll first ask you, did you get a chance to read the memo that had the conditions that were put on the Ware Butler property? And
Yes. I've gone through it, and Ann and I went through, and this originally back in December, just before sale of the property.
Yep.
And that's when I realized that there was a clause that said that it was going to revert at the time of sale.
Yep.
I thought it was going to carry over, and so that's why we're trying to bring this forward to make sure that
Yep.
zoning remains the same.
and those conditions are fine?
Yeah, they're fine as they stand now. I think there will be a point in the future where I'll probably come back to talk about zoning of the church and those
Yep.
sort of things. That's not
Sure.
what I'm trying to do tonight.
Yep.
But
Understood.
that will be in the future.
Okay. Does anybody on the board have any questions or comments, or did everyone get a chance to read the memo that Ann sent over? I know she gave us a printed copy here that lists the uses and conditions. We'll get to the second half of that after, as far as how it aligns with the comprehensive plan. But does anybody have any questions or concerns about any of that?
I have none.
No? Does anybody from the public here want to speak about? Okay. All right. I also don't have any have any concerns. I remember when we did this before for the Ware Butler property. So I guess the next thing,
I have a question.
yeah, go for it.
Was, so this was already approved, and then when the sale of the property happened, it reverted back to what it was?
Correct.
So now, we would just be approving to keep it what it was before the sale?
Yep,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of a no-brainer.
right, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think there were a lot of reasons why we said it would revert back if there was a sale of the property. So over the years, seems like the planning board's done a bunch of different things with contract zones to make people come and explain what they want to do after a sale or change of use or whatever. So,
It's a confusing property as zoning goes.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
yeah. So the next half of what I want to discuss is the second half of this, which is our reasons for making the recommendation. And I went through this. It looks like you updated, just referencing the new pages and new goals, and, there's a little bit of wording change with the new comprehensive plan, so thank you for doing that. I didn't have any problem with any of that. It seems like it's aligned with the comprehensive plan very well, and we're doing it for all the same reasons. So, so as you know, well, hopefully you know, so we make a recommendation
Yep.
to City Council, so that's what we will be voting on tonight. We'll be voting on a recommendation to City Council, then they have to vote twice, right? Yeah, twice.
Okay.
So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We address the comprehensive plan part of this?
Yep, that's what we were just talking about.
Okay. Just so I would feel safe with the decision that we.
Oh, can you-
I'm sorry. That we put some findings on the record as to why we feel that it complies or follows the guidance of the comprehensive plan.
That was in what Ann wrote.
Right.
It's on your desk.
Right,
there.
but I don't feel comfortable just adopting that language. I think we have to make findings to support what's in black and white. And if I may ask for your indulgence to
Yep,
put
sure.
something on the record.
Sure. I mean, I will say that's not typically what goes in the memo. We just put in what it aligns with.
Okay.
So, but you absolutely, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm assuming that everyone knows what is being suggested for this corner, this project, as to what's going to be going there. I'm assuming that we all know that.
You understand that what he's asking for is only the continued office use of that one
Correct.
building. So we're not talking about the church
Right, we're not
itself
talking about the larger
or
plans.
the rectory, just that one piece.
Just the one building?
Just the office building to continue
The
to be.
rectory?
No,
Just so the
I mean, I've looked at all the buildings that were there.
Right.
We have a church.
yeah, so the way that the zoning is, the rectory's always, I guess, had an office zoning attached to it. In the contract zone, the office building on site has a zoning tied to it where at the point of sale, it would revert back to a residential from an office building. And so the request is to maintain that second office building as an office space, just as the rectory is zoned as an office space at the moment.
Right.
All right. All right, so we don't
This
have to
isn't-
address the church.
This is not the larger vision discussion.
may I show you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the church, it's in the residential D zone. This is the rectory, which has its own special contract zone district, and that's number 29. And the office building, which you can see from Gilman
Okay.
Street, is in a contract zone district,
Okay.
number 27. So that property is in 3 different zones.
Okay, does this one come before us at some point in time?
It's when he,
Okay.
Yeah,
when
so,
he
so-
decides what he wants to do.
So,
Okay.
Tom, the intent is to bring back a pretty comprehensive plan on the redevelopment of the church itself, probably
Okay.
sometime later this year, I would imagine. And that's where I'll lay out plans for the community center, test kitchen, all the stuff that I've talked about doing in that space. But
All right. I will then withdraw my
Okay,
suggestion of making some findings on this point. I will reserve it for the next time around.
okay.
Thanks.
There is a motion on the table to approve or to make the recommendation as is written that Ann provided, but there is not a second.
A second.
Thank you, Patty. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing you again and hearing more plans.
No, I appreciate it. And like I said, I'm really excited about the overall project, and I'm looking very excited to coming to you all with the full plan. So
Yeah,
thank you
great.
for your time.
All right, thanks.
And John, I'll ask to have this put on the council agenda for the next meeting. I assume it will be okay, but I have to get permission.
Okay, I will check make sure I block that off. So you think it's going to be the next city council meeting?
I'm hoping it will be on
Okay.
the next one, which is, I'm looking for my calendar. I think it's
It would be February 3rd.
February 3rd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
All right, thank you very much.
Jonathan, when do you think you'll be back?
My hope is probably sometime March, April is when I think the time would be right. We're forming it. We formed a nonprofit. We filed the paperwork. The full intent is to have the nonprofit have a long-term lease on the property, so that the nonprofit can operate the church. And so that's the process that I'm going through right now.
Yep.
And so when I come back to you, that will be part of what I will talk about, but I will also talk about uses.
Great.
So thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I will move to adjourn.
I assume that motion carried.
Yep.
Okay. All right.